Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to your Friday. Today is Friday, September the 24th, 2021. This is Biniam on the Checkin In podcast. We are on episode number 60. Episode 60. We've made it to another significant moment. 60 I consider significant. The next one I think that I'll be watching for is 75 episodes. But here we go, progressing our way forward. And I'm glad to have you here. Ollie, I see my dear friend. How are you? Nice to have you guys joining in, coming on the YouTube live stream, the Instagram live stream, and the TikTok live stream. Of course, I'm recording on Spotify as well. And Instagram and YouTube usually are recorded as well. Brandon, good morning, my friend. How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome to this episode. It's episode number 60 of the Checkin In podcast. My name is Biniam. Welcome again to your Friday. Friday is the day that a lot of people look forward to because they're like, hey, NHL, good to see you again. A lot of people are looking forward to Friday because it's the weekend and they're looking forward to. I'm glad to have you here for a bit, NHL. Good to have you. My Spotify name is the Checkin In podcast, so you can find it under that name. I've got a few podcasts going on. This one here is the Checkin In podcast you're currently listening to. Then, of course, there's the Bincast, which you're going to be on soon, Brandon. Then I have Friendology, which I do with some friends, and that one is also really rich and fantastic, entertaining. Then there is the Mum series, Memorable Uber Moments, Mum series, MUM. And that's where I have a few of the recordings from my Uber conversations I share there. And of course, there is the final one, which is the Ben Asmer narrations. That's Ben ASMR narrations. And that's where I'm reading the current book that I'm going through, Rising Strong by Brene Brown. And so that is for those who enjoy my voice and want to hear more often. But this, like I said, is episode number 60 of the Checkin In podcast. I'm so thrilled to have you. 3 things that we'd like to focus on while we spend time together for a few moments in the morning. Awareness of ourselves, kindness towards ourselves, and our increasing happiness. Today's topic, today's question we are answering is a really good one. It's a self-reflection question about personal growth. Personal growth. What's the one I'm going to be on? Brandon, you're going to be on the one called Bincast, not the Checkin In podcast, which is this one, but Bincast. That's where I interview amazing people and hear their stories. And so that's the one that you're going to be on there in sometime soon. So yes, I'm glad to have all you guys coming in on the Instagram, TikTok, and the YouTube. Today's question that we are asking, which is a self-reflection question for our personal growth. What keeps you grounded? What keeps you grounded is what we're answering today. What keeps you grounded? So I can't wait to dive into that one. This question, when I read it, hello, Abdi Karim, how are you? As I read this question today, what keeps you grounded? The first thing that jumps out at me is the word grounded. Grounded is one of those, it's a good word. There's a good feeling I get when I hear the word grounded. What keeps me stable? What keeps my foundation strong? And I think most of us like to be in this season. Hello, Lewis. Have a good day, NHL. Yeah. Hope school goes well for you today, and happy Friday. For those of us who are like me, I like things in a good frame of reference where I'm in my comfort zone. We were talking about what does it look like to be outside your comfort zone. Hello, Franklin. Good to see you coming in. The comfort zone that I usually like is where things are consistent in my life, where things are following a sequence whereby there are no surprises that make me feel uncomfortable or unsafe or sort of on the periphery. And so why I appreciate that is because of this question here is that when I'm in that season of constant or the consistency, there are some elements that really serve me well in this word called grounded. Grounded is where I can continue to make decisions from a place where I feel safe, from a place where I feel like the world isn't falling apart. Thomas says you should make an Amazon wish list. That's a great idea. Uh, Instead, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring some business towards my website. So, in case you guys did not know, I have published my website again and revamped it, and I am pretty enthusiastic about where I'm going right now. I've got some ideas. And so, biniamasters.com is the website. I would love for you to check it out. If there is some way that I could be of service to you, I would love to partner with you in your further growth. And so, check it out, biniamasters.com. Can you type the name of the podcast? Okay, hold on a second here. I am just, for sure, Brandon. I'm happy to do that for you. Bincast. There we go. There. That's the Bincast that Brandon's asking about, my one website where I interview people that he's going to be featured on soon. And that's the Bincast. So there you are, my dear friend Brandon. I'm happy to serve you that way. So I was talking about this word grounded. How it makes me feel when I hear the word is this is stable terrain to be on. You know what it's like when you are walking along on uneven, and you got to watch very carefully the ground you're walking on so that you don't trip over and fall. Hello, Terrace. How are you? And so along those lines, that's the feeling I get when I think of the word grounded, whether it's in circumstance of life. I want to be in that stable plane where I can make good decisions as I'm going forward. And also, not only in circumstances of life do I want to feel grounded, but I also want to feel grounded in my relationships as well. Have you guys ever felt the experience whereby you're with someone and they're so unexpected? You do not know how their mood is going to shift. It's so it's hard to navigate. Like one moment they're super excited and happy and enthusiastic. The next moment they are in a rage, and you have no idea of being able to tell how to be able to brace for their shifting emotions that are pretty extreme. That is an unstable connection relationally, isn't it? You feel like you're walking on eggs often. You feel like you don't know what you can say or not say so you don't trigger this person. And so it feels like really unstable, right? It's not a grounded relationship. Contrast a grounded relationship whereby there is mutual respect that is expressed, there is expectations that are communicated, there is a good foundation for connection so that you're both able to at least be able to move forward from a place of confidence, right? A place of confidence where you're like, hey, this is a good connection here. This is something that is dependable. There's stability in this relationship. This person isn't all of a sudden going to fly off on me and I have no reason what's going on. Hello, Blaze Bud the Tender. How are you? Nice to see you here. And so along those lines, that's a more stable or grounded connection relationally. Those are the kind that we like to have more of in our life than the other one. I like in your topic. Oh, I like your topic. Thank you, Abdi Kareem. It's a really helpful one. I want to choose topics that are going to help me, but also help you guys as you're processing as well. And the question for those of you coming in here is, what keeps you grounded? What is it in life that keeps you grounded? So grounded, we're just kind of trying to define as one of those states where we feel like we are in a consistent zone, where there's consistency all the way through, so that we're not sort of like unaware of dynamics beyond our control that are causing us to kind of like walk on eggshells. Is how I was describing it earlier. So, what is it that keeps you grounded? I like the approach to this feeling that we're trying to have. Hello, Ohof. How are you? Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining in. So, this zone of feeling like we're grounded is a really important one because, in the absence of feeling grounded, in the absence of having a good foundation and a good stable platform from which to launch off into life and all the experiences, it's not on Spotify. Okay, let me see if I can forward you, Brandon, the link in a bit. Okay, after this podcast, I'll send you that in a private message. I think it should be, but I'll make sure. Maybe I'm wrong. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was going to tell you. And Brandon, you can also check that on YouTube as well too. This place of stability that I prefer to live in is a really important one that I want to maintain, because in the absence of it, I don't feel like I'm making a lot of headway in life. I don't feel like I'm making a lot of progression in a good way in life when I'm in this unstable zone where I don't feel grounded. If I'm not feeling grounded, I'm not really doing much good for myself personally or for those around me. If I'm feeling ungrounded, if I'm feeling unstable because I'm not in control, it's usually reflected on those around me. in ways where I might be worried, for example. I might be feeling worried. I'm just drop my chair. Let me just see if I can bring it back up again. I might be feeling that zone of worry and concern that doesn't help me keep present with those I want to interact and engage with relationally. So those people that I have around me, I want to engage with them with full presence of mind. I want to be all there when they're interacting and talking with me. I want to be available. But the only way that this can happen is if I'm serving myself first and foremost. And if I'm not serving myself and making sure I have the things I need to feel grounded, then that's a really challenging place. Now, the question is, what keeps you grounded? What is it that you find helpful in keeping you in this zone of stability? For some of you, it might be someone in your life who really is your rock, your ballast, if you will. Though the person who you go to get perspective from, the one who you love to be around because they are helping you stay in this zone of stability. They sort of listen to your crazy ideas and they talk you down from some of the ones that may not be helpful for you, right? That might be the answer for some of you, that there's a specific person or a group of people that you find are very helpful in keeping you grounded. For others, it might be various disciplines or practices that you do in your life. Maybe you go to the gym to work out vigorously. Every day of the week. Maybe that's what your jam is, to be able to keep in this grounded zone, to be able to keep things afloat, to be able to keep things in a stable place. You serve yourself first and foremost by going to the gym and working out and doing that kind of exercise that helps you get the energy expended that you need while you process or think through or just experience that moment of things that serve and put into you this sense of feeling grounded. For some of you, you don't feel grounded unless you get your X number hours of sleep. However many hours, let's say for some of you, it's 8 hours. If you don't get 8 hours of sleep, you don't feel grounded. You don't feel like you have what you need to be able to make it through your day. And so that's probably what it looks like for some of you. Um, and for others of you, it might be a little bit different in what you need. Perhaps if you don't eat 3 square meals a day, you're done. You don't feel grounded because your body is just kind of not getting that sustenance that it needs, that it's depending on to make it through the day. Maybe that's what it is for some of you. I don't know. What is it that keeps you grounded? That's the question we're answering together. I'd love to hear from some of you what it is that you find helpful in keeping you in that zone where you feel grounded. What is it that you have experienced in life that continues to help you feel in this zone of equilibrium? That's another big word. Hoy, me and my big words. Equilibrium, in case you did not know, is just another way of saying, hey again, Brandon, I see you there. It's that zone where you're feeling well balanced, if you will. So here is my answer to this question. What keeps me grounded? Part of that word keeps me there is I want to stay in the zone. And to stay in the zone, it's my way of saying, how do I continually bring this influence, whatever it is that grounds me, how do I continue to keep it present in my life? That's another part of this question is how do I maintain this zone? Because if I don't maintain it, I may run out of it and I may need to be having access to it in a significant way. So what is it that keeps me grounded? Let me talk about what it is that helps me feel grounded. Hello, Blackjack. How are you? Good to see you. So for me, what it is that keeps me grounded is, sorry, I'm just hearing a buzz from my microphone input. What it is that keeps me grounded is this sense whereby I am feeling mentally, intellectually, on top of my game. Another way for me to say this is when my thinking zone, I do a lot of thinking in my mind. Like I'm an intellectual person. I think at a very deep level. I perceive life at a very critical point intellectually. So I'm usually seeing and experiencing a lot that happens in life. And then my mind goes into thinking mode to try and understand and interpret what's going on. DJ DSTYYC says, hey, love from Northeast Calgary. Keep doing you, man. Love and respect. I appreciate that. Thank you. What a handsome chocolate swirl, says Jordan. Thank you. You guys are so gracious. Thank you for your love and kind words. For me, what it is that keeps me grounded is making sure that the zone in between my ears, this thinking space here, is able to be able to, yeah, that I'm able to keep on critically thinking about my dynamics and my circumstances from a place that enables me to understand my world in a very specific way. And one of those is that I keep reminding myself that I am a human being just like everyone else. There's my first grounding thought that I almost like subconsciously reflect on, that I am just like everyone else. And I'll tell you why this is super important for me to help me keep grounded. When I remind myself I'm just like everyone else, and there's no sense of false humility here when I say that. Yes, I may have some significant academic accomplishments. I may have some insights in life. I may have some giftings and skills that enable me to connect really well socially. Yes, I have all of those things, but none of those things I find gives me my sense of self worth. Listen carefully again, my dear listener. These things that I just mentioned by way of accomplishments have nothing to do with my sense of self worth. I do not place any stock of my groundedness in these abilities. Why is that? Because if I were to do so, and these things were to be taken away in some way, let's say I had a drastic accident, and all of a sudden I can't think as well, or I can't communicate as well socially in the way. Does that mean my self worth came down? Not at all. So I start off at the very point of acknowledging that my skills, my abilities, and my accomplishments in life have nothing to do with my self worth. And that makes me just as equal to the next person that I'm interacting or engaging this world from. So, all you, my dear listeners who are listening to me, everyone else on this planet, I feel myself in an equal plane with everyone else because I, like you guys, I'm just trying to figure this life out too. I'm trying to make my way to the next step here. And I think that's what all of us are trying to do. We're trying to figure out as best as we can how to get to that next place, that next level that we feel is important for us. So that's my first grounding thought. That's the first thought that keeps me grounded in a simple way in my mind. And if that's the first place that I'm starting off, I want to also reflect that as I'm trying to figure out my world, I don't have it all together. Just like every one of you and everyone else in this world that I am coexisting with. There's not a single person in this world that has a comprehensive and complete analysis of our existence. In fact, I think from the smartest of us to the most to the one in the most humble of places, we're just trying to figure out how to make that next level, right? And so, in our equality, none of us is perfect. And if none of us is perfect, I'm getting to the point now of what keeps me grounded. What keeps me grounded is this progression of thought. Number one, that I'm just as equal to everyone else, regardless of my accomplishments, skills, and abilities. None of those make me any more worthwhile than the next person next to me. Secondly, that I'm just trying to figure it out in a fumbling way. Like as human beings, we are struggling our way forward, every single one of us. And if we're all struggling and messing our way forward, here's the thought that keeps me grounded. How can I acknowledge my helplessness in a world where I'm encouraged to celebrate my independence? Listen again carefully. I'm going to say that one more time. How can I experience my helplessness, my dependence? How can I experience my dependence in a world that encourages me to celebrate my independence? Now, that's really important for me. This is, I would say, close to the heart of what keeps me grounded. What keeps me grounded is reflecting that I'm not in control. I would love to be in control. Yes, I can control a lot of my decisions, but there's so much I'm convinced in my life that is beyond my control. I can't control your response to me. That's beyond my control. I can't walk out into the world with a firm assurance that nothing is going to touch me. That's beyond my control. I just looked at your website and it was really well done. Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate that. Thanks for the love. I did a lot of work on the website. Thank you for going ahead and exploring it and giving me some feedback. I definitely did a lot of work on that. So I'm encouraged by your feedback. The thing that keeps me grounded is just reflecting on the fact that I am not in control of everything that I'd like to be in control of. And at the point of me learning to accept this fact for me, that's where I feel super grounded. When I'm able to acknowledge the things in my life that are beyond my control, that I'm like, this is this is more than I can handle. When I'm able to acknowledge that, that's when I'm able to say, okay, I'm acknowledging this, I'm accepting this as it is. This is my starting frame right here. From this place, I'm going to launch off into life now. That's where I feel really grounded. When I'm able to take an accounting for those things that are beyond my control, whether it's in relationship context, whether it's in business prospects, whether it's just basically life in general. Here I am living in this beautiful pad here. Did you guys see the view behind me? Isn't this an amazing view of the city skyline? I love sharing that with you guys. So there's the Calgary Tower behind me. You can't see it on the Instagram. Let's see if I can shift over this way. Can you see it right over there? There it is. And you guys, of course, can see it right over here. I'm having to line up for different screens here. But as I am reflecting on this beautiful place that I get to live in, you know, it's beautiful. I'm super thankful and grateful for this ability to earn money to afford a place like this. But here's the other thought in my mind that keeps me grounded. At this point in time, I've got an amazing mind to be able to apply myself to business, to do some work, to be able to earn some money, to afford a place like this, and to have food in my fridge, for which I'm thankful for, and to provide for my family. Patrick says, I also just seen your website. Looks great. Thank you for your love, guys. Thank you for checking it out. And if there's people that you have in mind that you're like, hey, they could really use your service, I would love the extension of accommodation. And so thank you for doing that, friends. I super appreciate your encouragement that way. So, yes, as I am reflecting on all that I'm able to accomplish in experiencing this beautiful experience in life, I am also acknowledging that I can't guarantee that I'll have this forever. Now, that's a scary thought for a lot of people. A scary thought because, oh, we like being in control. We like having guarantees and assurances that this is how it's always going to be. If I were to be encouraging you, if I were to be able to um, speak into your life or try to come alongside to help you prepare for the future. Here's the thing that I find tremendous comfort in that can be scary because it takes some getting used to. It's in acknowledging those things that we can't actually control. Patrick, it's been good so far, my day. Thanks for asking. I love starting my day off like with these podcasts because this is my way of reflecting on me, growing an awareness of me. This is what I do: is I grow an awareness of myself as I answer these questions. I'm getting to know me more, and I'm sharing that with you guys. That process of me getting to know myself more, and as I'm acknowledging what I'm learning about myself, because I'm learning so much about myself as I ask myself these questions. And I'm hoping that it helps and benefits you guys too. But as I do that, I'm also learning what it looks like to be kind to myself. And so here I am, even as I acknowledge this very thing that I find grounds me. If I were to come alongside you guys and share from my experience, I'd say the better we are at acknowledging things that are beyond our control, especially in our future by way of here's what I can't guarantee for sure in the future. When we're able to acknowledge those things, I think we come into a different strength and confidence because we're accounting for things that are beyond our control, which enables us to consider things that are really in our control and to focus on developing and enhancing those things that we're in control of. So, as I acknowledge the things I can't control, it helps me to acknowledge those things and then move on to the things that I know, hell yes, I got this down. And so that's why I have been, I think, as successful as I have on social media is that I've been coming from this place of strength, one acknowledging that I can't control the unknown. I never knew that I would grow in my influence this way to be able to be connected with you guys. That you guys are giving me your time, that you're giving me your moments in your day. That's a precious thing. I can't control that. But the very fact that you're sharing these moments with me, I am super grateful for. I'm super grateful for the camaraderie of you being a part of my conversations and thinking about these things and becoming a part of my life. In essence, becoming a part of my commitment, my priority. Do you know that you are my priority? This is the block of time that I carve out every weekday to be able to say, hey, I want to invest in you guys this way. I want to share my life with you this way. And as you join in with me, again, it's beyond my control, but I want to make that a priority in my life. And so I commit myself to it. but I don't make some guarantees that I know I can't keep. I can't say, for example, for the rest of my life, I'm your guys at this point in time. I can't make that promise because that's beyond my control. I do not know what kind of things are coming along the way that will shift my trajectory. But for the time being, here I am with a hell yes, with a desire to connect with you guys this way. And that's what I want to bring to the table. And so, along those lines, yes, this is why I invest myself the way I do in focusing on the things that keep me grounded. It seems paradoxical, I acknowledge, that part of the sense that keeps me grounded may be the very thing that makes others feel ungrounded. And I would say it's a natural response to feel ungrounded if you're considering, like I do, as my center of feeling grounded, the things that make me feel helpless or dependence, because we are in a culture whereby we're in a culture whereby we are encouraged to feel our independence, that we're strong. And yeah, this is really important, I think. So along those lines, the more I'm able to be challenged, the more I'm able to feel my smallness, the more I'm able to reflect on my existence as a human being as finite. I'm not going to be here forever. The more I'm able to, in acknowledging those things that make me feel dependent and helpless, move on to the next place of saying, here's where I am going to focus on. And that is, I'm going to make my connections really, really amazing. I'm going to invest myself in a sweet way in the connections I have the opportunity to make. When I sit down with people and spend time with them, I want to be there wholly. I want to be there, and I want them to know that there's nothing else in the world that is on my agenda except for them at this moment. That is the aftertaste that I want to leave with people. That I can control, and that I can continue to hone in on and make better. I want to get to be a better thinker. I want to be able to apply my mind to even more rigorous, challenging context of trying to figure things out socially, so that I can help others out. I like being able to immerse myself in the experiences of life so that I can help others in their own processing and progression and pathway. That for me is really huge. I feel a tremendous sense of groundedness there. But the only way I could feel that groundedness in that setting there is by, first of all, reflecting what I can't do, what I can't promise, with the places where I may feel helpless. I may be talking to you and you may be sharing with me some really sad things in your life. As I'm listening to you, I'm never going to promise that it's all going to be okay. I'm never going to say, hey, you're never going to experience any more hardships. Why am I not going to do that? Because I can't do that in good honesty. That for me is opposite of what I've come to experience in this life. In my commitments with you while we're together, if I'm going to be comforting you, for example, in the midst of some struggle that you're going through, I want to bring my A game by way of honesty and saying, hey, I'm a fellow human being like you. That's where I first fall down, started my groundedness. And I'm trying to figure this life out as well. And in me trying to figure out this life going forward with you, here's some things I'm going to offer by way of suggestion that I found helpful for me. Consider it for yourself. It may not work for yourself, but you see, as I'm communicating to you this way, I'm rock solid sure of what I'm saying. I'm saying there is this zone of mystery that I don't have access to. I don't know what's in your mind. I don't know what it was like to be in your shoes going through whatever experience it was. But here's what I can do is I can acknowledge my limited ability to come alongside. And in that, I can be rock solid sure that I have my whole heart there and saying, my desire is for your good. My desire is for your wellness. My desire is for your growth. That is a hell yes. And I can give that with full confidence in this ground position because, first and foremost, I know what I can promise and what I can't promise. So that's where I feel my zone of groundedness. It starts off in me acknowledging my helplessness, my dependence. This is why I love going to the mountains, for example. When I go to the mountains, I like being in the mountains because then I'm reminded how small I am. I'm reminded how finite I am. I'm reminded that in the midst of this sheer grandioseness in front of me that makes me say, "Whoa, this is like breathtaking, really, literally." As I reflect on that, it makes me think on my existence and what I think is really important. And usually I find that whatever it was that I felt was super important is not as important as being in this moment of feeling grounded, and reminding myself that I'm just like everyone else trying to figure my way forward. And from that vantage point, it's a beautiful place to be able to launch off saying, hey, I don't have to have all the answers. I don't have to have all of this figured out. But from that premise, I can try the best I can to see 2 steps ahead of me as best as I can. My dear friends, this is the weekend. I hope your weekend goes swell. I would love to hear from you. I would love to come alongside and encourage you. I have recently revamped and refreshed my website with services that I want to offer to you. And right now, only for my online community, I have a 30% discount, on my service. So I want you to go and take advantage of that. I'm calling myself a life recalibrator. And as a life recalibrator, I want to help recalibrate your past experiences so that you have an amazing way of rewriting your future hopes. That's okay, Miara. No, so good to have you coming in at the tail end here. So that's what I want to encourage you guys with. Go check out my website. It's binyamasters.com. And get in touch with me. Send me a message there in my contact form, and I'll send you the coupon code for 30% discount. I would love for you to have access to it because there's only 75 of them that I have made available. And after that, it's back to full regular price. But I would love to partner with you and join you in this endeavor. So check out my website, binyamasters.com, and let me come alongside and encourage you in your own context. However, for the time being, I will see you on Monday for episode number 61 on the Checkin In podcast. Much love to you guys. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.